Meet Joe Can Do That. Joe Can Do That can fix anything. He can fix your car. He can fix your vacuum cleaner. He can even fix your electrical problems. But do you really want him to? Call Gehringer Mechanical today for all your electrical needs. Joe Can Do That does.
At Distinctive Realty by Design, we take a process that's normally stressful and time-consuming and make it smoother, easier, and more enjoyable, not to mention more affordable. A proven process, all the resources, a dream come true. Reinvent your lifestyle with Distinctive Realty by Design. The best part is, we invest in you, from appraisal, staging, and marketing to preparation and moving, while helping to lift the burden from your shoulders. Ready to learn more? Contact us today for a complimentary tour. Thank you.
Tired of waiting in long lines for your prescriptions? Well, Professional Pharmacy has the answer, offering you fast, friendly, and free prescription delivery right to your front door. So stop waiting in those long lines and call Professional Pharmacy today.
Well, if you don't think that we can, well, think twice.
Conveniently located in Pottstown and Pennsburg.
For more than 50 years, Pottstown Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery has served its community with expert dental care, offering patients dental implants and a full menu of procedures for many types of dental problems, including bone grafting, wisdom teeth, impacted canines, facial trauma, jaw surgery, oral pathology, TMJ disorders, and sleep apnea. Get the smile you've always wanted. Contact Pottstown Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery today.
Hey, Terry Musser here. Doing whatever it takes as always. People ask me, can I still do a cartwheel? I can. But when we work with you, we're not only going to do cartwheels, we're going to bend over backwards. And as always, you have my personal guarantee. Call us.
Castro alone underneath. Oh, up. They're going to go at Fowler. He's wide open. Touchdown,
From the Heavner Park in Worcester, Pennsylvania, the PCTV Network Sports presents the Boys Cross Country Championship. Afternoon, everybody. Dave Ridenour joined by Larry Harvey. And Larry, today we're getting ready for the boys' races. We're moments away from the opening gun, and you know, it's a little bit unusual. Maybe we can explain to the people out there what exactly is going to happen today. We take all the teams from the Pac-10, go for the championship. Regular season really doesn't mean too much coming into today. What are we going to see here this afternoon?
Well, during the season does matter to some degree, because the teams that finish in the top four in the standings are the only teams that are eligible to win the team title. All the other teams are in there for individual efforts, and they're there for displacement and to mix it up in the scoring.
Okay, well, the top four teams are Springford, Pottsgrove, O&J, and PV. Paul Power, certainly a guy who is the defending individual champion from last year, certainly a guy that we need to keep our eye on here this afternoon.
He has as long as he's healthy, he shouldn't have too much trouble defending his title. He's won every dual meet this year, and he's placed high in invitationals all over the state.
Well, you know, it's an individual sport also combined with the team sport, so we will be looking for some strategy. You know, what kinds of things do you look for as far as the teams? Do they run in packs? Do they run together? You know, how does Springford win enough to win and beat Methacton for the team title this year?
Well, the ultimate goal in cross country is to get enough kids out for the sport and then to develop them during the summer. And the idea is to develop a pack, which is probably the best way to win meets, because it's not just a Paul Power that wins a meet. He has to have guys behind him that can stay close. And if you can develop a team of anywhere from 5 to 7 runners that can stay within 1 minute of each other, there aren't too many meets that you're going to lose.
All right, well, it's going to be interesting here, down here in Hebner Park, as I mentioned before, in Worcester, PA, close to the Methacton Area High School. We'll be back with the opening gun right after this.
For over 50 years, O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei has helped our clients resolve a wide variety of legal challenges. OWM Law provides legal representation to clients throughout southeastern Pennsylvania. Our attorneys and our highly trained support staff utilize the latest technology and resources available to satisfy the needs of our clients. O'Donnell, Weiss, and Mattei, delivering the highest level of professional service.
Gehringer Mechanical has operated in this community for over 28 years. Based right out of Boyertown, we work, live, and play right where you do. Big enough to handle any of your electrical, plumbing, heating, or air conditioning needs, yet small enough to offer the personal touch that a customer expects. I invite you to experience the level of service we can provide at Gehringer Mechanical.
At your Pottstown YMCA, there is something for everyone. Work out in the new Wellness Center. Participate in more than 50 free group exercise classes each week. Dive right on in and experience the difference at the Pottstown Y. Now, what about the kids? Well, get your game on or rock it out at dance class. In a world of new discoveries, right now, the Pottstown Y, a place the whole family can enjoy. Your YMCA, where we focus on youth development, health and wellness, and social responsibility. Now, for more information, like us on Facebook or visit phillyymca.org or just stop on by at 724 North Adams Street in Pottstown.
Moshe's Train Stop in Schwenksville has been serving the Tri-County area the finest pizza, cheesesteaks, hoagies, pasta, stromboli, and decadent desserts since 1981. Stop in today and let our family serve your family. And remember that Moshe's can cater any of your party needs. Stop by our second location, Main Street Station, for a delicious breakfast, lunch, or ice cream. We're open year-round. Friend us on Facebook or at www.moshestrainstop.com.
Hey, we're moments away from the opening gun here at the Hebner Park in Worcester, PA. Dave Ridenour and Larry Harvey bringing you all the cross-country action here on the PCTV Network Sports. And Larry, maybe you could give everybody a little brief background on the distance of the race and some of the different strategies while we're waiting for that gun to go off.
Well, first of all, the course is 3.1 miles. And this particular course here at Hebner Park is pretty flat.
Yeah.
We had a lot of rain yesterday. I understand the course drained pretty well. There's only a few areas where there's some puddles and mud, but that's part of cross country. but there are no major hills, a lot of turns, so that will slow runners down. I would say most of the course is about 70% grass and then 30% gravel roads and paths.
Now, what the footwear is, because it's so much grass, does that vary then, Larry?
It varies. It's up to the coaches and the kids. A lot of the kids will wear spikes, small spike shoes.
Oh, so they're allowed to wear spike shoes in this?
They
Okay.
can, yep.
All right. Wow, that's interesting. You know, and now they usually have some kids that go out really quickly as the lead rabbits, if you will, and try to get the pace picked up. What's the strategy with that as well?
Well, there really won't be a rabbit in this race, maybe in dual meets, but in this race, it's going to be your front kids, your top 10 kids. They're going to all go out. They'll probably challenge Paul Power, but I think after a while, it's going to be a race for second place. I think at a point, Powers will take over and they'll just let him go.
Okay.
As defending champion, he's a state medalist, and I personally feel he's a chance for the top 5 in the state of Pennsylvania.
Now, each team is only allowed to have 7 kids run in this race?
Yeah, in the varsity race, you're only allowed a maximum of 7 runners.
Okay.
Your first 5 runners will score for your team. Your 6th and 7th runners, what they call it displacement, and what they do will, their 6th and 7th runner will get in front of the 4th runner from one school. They might get in front of the 5th runner of another school when they hit the finish, and they actually push the team points back. In cross country, the scoring is done similar to golf. It's the lowest points that win the race.
Yeah. Well, Springford comes in, finished undefeated in the regular season at 9-0. Pottsgrove 8-1. O&J Roberts 7-2, and PV at 6-3. They were the top 4 teams that have made what we call the Final Four, if you will, that have the chance to winning the team title. And as you mentioned, Larry, there is an individual title as well. Maybe we can go over a couple of the kids that we know that should be up there in the top 10, 15 from the schools. You know, you talked about Paul Power, Zach Smith, and Chase Parr, who obviously has a pretty nice name for cross country. Who are some of the other guys we might want to look for?
Well, you're going to see Derek Lopez of Pottsgrove up in the front, Jeff Kirschenbaum from the Facton. Really up and coming, a great runner, only a freshman from O&J Roberts, Liam Conway. Jake Kuiper from Upper Perkiomen will be in there. Brendan Wirtz of Pottsgrove has been running number 2 for them.
Well, you know, Boyertown, even though they haven't done well in the regular season at 4 and 5, have Dylan Ettinger and Brighton Henry, 2 guys that could finish up the top.
They'll be there with them.
Yeah. Well, you can see all the kids there lined up. I guess theoretically there could be 70 of them of each squad. There are 10 teams in the Pac-10, obviously, and 7 times 10 is 70 runners if everybody has a full field.
Right.
And as you mentioned there, the top 5 from each school will count towards the team standings, as all the officials, PIAA and Pac-10 guys are out there checking all the things out. But it is a relatively nice day. It's not too hot. So the weather seems to be pretty good conditions for a fast day, Larry.
Yeah, it's a little windy, but that's not bad. The temperatures are perfect. It's actually a good day for a run.
Clear the course, please.
There you can see the official there with his megaphone as he's trying to clear everybody out of the way here, as they have to push some people back.
Clear the course, please.
Okay.
As you pointed out, Dave, there could be 70 runners, but there could be a little less than that. Some teams, you have to run at least 5. You have to run at least 5 members.
Okay.
In order to score. You can run less, but then you won't figure in a team score.
Okay. All right. You see some of the runners there, a little nervous energy at the starting line as they get themselves loose. Some quick stretching and jumping up and down. But it is 2:30. This is the time that the meet is supposed to start, and he said he was going to start on time. As the crowd starts to get a little fired up here as they line the track, if you will. 3.1 miles, as Larry mentioned earlier, on a flat track. So we could have some good times. Are you looking in the low 15s, Larry? What do you think for
today? Paul Power will easily go under 16.
And there they are. Pretty neat, isn't it, Larry?
Yeah, they'll head down about 200 yards and make a sharp right turn.
Now, have these guys, well, obviously this is the third year they've been running this championship here at Hebner Park, but like earlier today, are they out there walking the course to check it out and see what's going on?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
You'll arrive early enough to go over what they call course review. Teams go out and check the course out, warm up on the course. Now you're going to see you're at their backs right now, but they're going to make a sharp right turn. And we'll be able to see who takes the early lead. And that's Paul Power. There he goes.
Well, it's amazing to see how these guys move. I tell you, it's.
He runs about a 5:05 mile. He ran a home meet at Pottstown and ran the course in 15:13.
Well, there is a pretty good look at that
There's
pack,
a good
isn't
shot
it?
of the
Yeah, it is a
field.
great pack. Yeah, like I said, there's the senior. As I mentioned, he finished fourth at the prestigious Paul Short Invitational at Lehigh earlier this year, and he's been running all over the place at PIAA Foundation Cross Country Invitational on the Hershey course. You know, he medaled last year at the District 1 and PIAA state tournament, so he certainly is a guy with a lot of experience and a lot of big meets under his belt. He is a senior. And I mentioned Springford was 9-0 during the regular season.
You can see he already has like about a 50-meter lead, and he's not even a half mile into the race. It's going to be difficult here with the orange and red to tell which is PV and which is O&J.
Come on, Eddie, go! Well, there's O&J right there. You can see there.
That's Liam Conway.
But running pretty effortlessly right now. Good stride. I keep thinking I should say run, Forrest, run. I mean, he's going. As you mentioned, at least a 50-meter gap already between Power and the rest of the gang. Takes a quick peek over his shoulder to see where everybody is, but it almost looks like he's out on a little Sunday run on his own, doesn't it?
And Liam Conway is in second.
Hard to pick up the numbers for you, as we mentioned some of the guys that we thought could be up there: Kirschbaum, Mathacton, and Connor, PJP, and Kuiper of Upper Perk, Lopez of Pottsgrove, who's got a lot of experience as well. He's had a good year for the Grove.
He already has a 10-second lead in the field. Conway, Lopez, Kirschenbaum's in there. This is the first time that PCTV has tried this, so we'll do our best to try to cover the race. As Dave just pointed out, it's difficult to see the numbers. We know some of the individuals, so we'll do the best we can to cover this event.
Boy, what a pretty day, though. Look at
the colors.
The leaves. Yeah. Oh man, you talk about the fall. This is gorgeous down here. And as you mentioned, they used to have it up at Daniel Boone Homestead, I guess, right, Larry?
Yep.
Yeah, for years. And this is the third year now that Mathacton is in charge of the cross country. Each school takes on a sport or so and is the liaison between that sport and the league. And Mathacton doing a good job down here with the cross country. Set up this nice course here at the Hebner Park. They sort of run out of our view at this moment, so we'll be picking them up shortly on another one of our cameras. But again, you can see this is a beautiful day. The trees are very fall-like, and the conditions are nice. What's going through your mind, Larry? You're an old runner. What goes through your mind as you're out there running? What are you thinking about?
Well, the pain goes away, I can tell you that. You're thinking about, well, usually what you're doing, you're checking for your teammates to see where you are.
Okay.
You're often counting. I know I used to count spots, where I'm at, where am I located.
Okay.
When you get to the mile mark, you're going to be listening for your coach's voice to try to get your mile splits. And just try to run as comfortably as you can.
Now, you know, Brian Sullivan is the coach of Springford. He is a longtime coach at St. Pius X High School. Now, they have people out at different spots, as you mentioned, calling out the split numbers and the times and things like that when they're running by?
Yeah, generally those are coaches. They have certain points on the course where they want to give the kids their times. You're going to have spectators yelling different things too, but You generally listen for your coach or coaches.
Well, you can see there some of the fans starting to line up there on the part of the track. I thought I just saw a runner running through the wooded area there, but I guess maybe not.
You got to remember now, PCTV can only cover so many locations because of electronics. The wiring
you
can
can
only
see
go
some
so
kids in the
far.
background
you
there.
can see some cutting through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is kind of neat.
It is
fall.
neat. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thought it was a deer at first, Larry. Here it is. There the guys run.
Here comes Paul.
Yep, there's power.
He's coming at a junction point where he's going to, I think, be turning to his right and head into the woods again. Yes, he's turning to his right.
But he looks pretty comfortable out there at all, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's such a beautiful runner. Very relaxed. Yeah, he's going to go into the woods. Our other camera's going to pick him up in about 20 seconds.
There they come, some more of the guys.
The rest of the field.
Yeah, there's
Liam
the packs.
Conway is still in second.
Is that Lopez?
Lopez is third.
Yeah.
That's hard to see there. Boyertown,
there's some Boyertown guys. Yeah, we can't really read the numbers.
Park Valley. We have to just go by your uniform
Yeah,
colors. That's the way you do it.
There's Methacton there with the big M on their chest. We can at least see them.
And here he comes already. I said 15 seconds. There he is. He's in the view. Now he's running on a big soccer field. He's going to take another right turn from our camera view, and you'll probably watch him from the back until the rest of the field catches up.
It's just amazing how comfortable he looks there as he's running. You know, he's, like I said, looks like a little Sunday afternoon run for him, and he's moving. I mean, you mentioned he runs about a 5:05 mile for 3.1 miles. That's a pretty good clip, and he looks very, very comfortable out there. And you mentioned before there, unless something drastically happened, he was going to be able to defend his title here this afternoon.
Look at the lead he has.
Yeah.
There we go. There's Conway.
Yep.
Lopez is in third. I think it's a Methacton's in fourth. Boyertown.
Now it looks like the one guy's going to come over here and run on the pavement there.
Yeah,
I guess you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, he can do that.
Okay.
He's not off course. He's not running a direct line. He's actually running a little further.
Further, yeah. I was thinking he's running a little further.
Probably got spikes on.
Okay. And he feels a little more comfortable. You can see that there out to your left there. That's one of the runners in the race. And that is certainly within the rules of the race. He can run on the macadam there.
You can see the lead that he has. It's unbelievable.
There's some more of the runners there. A couple of kids trying to cut across the race. Yeah. The girls will be following the boys. They run separately. I wasn't sure, but they do run after the this match. So the boys will go out first, and then the girls will follow up with their own race. Actually, there's a couple of JV matches after this as well. So there's a full day of running down here at Hebner Park in Worcester, PA. Again, courtesy of the Methacton School District, who is in charge of the cross-country event.
This is probably a different feel for Paul, because last year, in the beginning of the race, somebody clicked his heel. His shoe came off. It happened to be the shoe with the chip in it. I'll explain that in a minute. The shoe came off, and he caught his own shoe in stride and ran 85% of the race with one shoe on.
Wow, that's amazing.
He carried the other. His foot was kind of beat up after the race, but he still won the title. This year, there's no problem. He's way out in front. All these runners are wearing a chip in their shoe. It's an automatic timing system at the finish line. When the runner crosses the finish line, the chip sends a signal to the computers, and they get the kids' times.
Well, a lot different than carrying that little tongue depressor that they used to
give out.
Yeah, used to give that out, didn't they?
I'm from old school. My Harrier Invitational, I still do that.
Do you still do that?
Yeah. Because we don't get that big of a field, you know.
But I remember that back when I was a kid, coming over there and watching, because they used to like run a lap at Pottstown High School. Grigg Field was the last part of the race, and I remember these guys getting handed out these little tongue depressors as they were running. I'm thinking, I said, what the heck is going on here? And that was for places and stuff. And it's come a long way, I guess, since the Nike guy came in and play and started making sneakers for D. Prefontaine and the boys, huh?
Yeah, as I said, this is a race for second. First place was over in the first quarter mile. Nobody challenged him at all.
Yeah,
Or they probably couldn't.
Old Paul Power's going to have a hot dog and a Coke here, waiting for the rest of the field to get in there. He is really running a nice, smooth race here.
Can't see him.
Yeah, there's some people in the back running. We'll catch them when we get up here. But again, Dave Ridenour, Larry Harvey bringing you all the action here on the PCTV Network Sports. Lots of things going on. There's our vantage point. We're under a pavilion here at the starting/finish line on a beautiful fall day. Temperatures are about 65 when they started. A little overcast, a little breezy, as you mentioned, Larry.
Yeah, Paul has probably passed the 2-mile mark a little while, according to the map here in the course. So.
You know, looking over some of the coaches, you know, some of these, like you look at Owen J. Roberts, Dave Michael, this is his 37th year, Larry. I mean,
yep.
I know you coached cross country and track for a long time at Pottstown, but the longevity of some of these guys, you know, Larry Recton's he's in his 22nd at Pottsgrove. He's been a guy who's been involved in track for a long time over there at the Grove, and it's good to see some of these younger guys getting involved as well.
Those two fellows are probably the old-timer that took up, right after I left, I was the old-timer. I had 40 years worth.
Yeah, you certainly did. Back in my time even.
Actually, I've been involved in it since I was 15, so I have 61 years of cross country.
Well, you used to run from Limerick to Pottstown High, didn't you?
Not quite.
I thought you used to run to school every morning from that
I used to run home after school.
Yeah, yeah. And you lived down in the Linfield area, didn't you?
Yeah, I lived down in Linfield.
Yeah.
I used to run home from Parker Ford to Linfield.
Yeah, and I'll give you a little bit of information. Larry Harvey and my mother were in the same class at Pottstown High School. So that gives you a little information. I'm spilling the beans on you a little bit, Larry. But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But my mom said, yeah, I think that Larry Harvey used to run home. There we get a good look at the end of the course. We'll be seeing the runners coming in towards the finish line. Well, there you see the official time at 12:30 and counting. So, you know, a little under 3 minutes. It'll be the finishing point for Mr. Power and the rest of the guys.
Well, the crowd that you're seeing on your screen are facing the area where Paul Power will come into view, and then he'll run a large loop behind this crowd on your screen. He'll be running over near the baseball field that's visible. Our camera's swinging around. He should be coming into view any moment. And there he is.
There he is.
Yep.
I don't know. Has he broken a sweat yet?
I don't believe it.
I don't think he has either. Holy cow. Man, it's amazing. Look how comfortable he is. Nice stride. Man, look at the arm swinging. You know, I know people don't realize how much your arms come into play when you run, Larry, but your upper body certainly has something to do to play with as well.
Arms are more important than your legs. And I notice about Paul, he carries his one arm a little higher than the other. His left arm, if you look at it, he carries that one arm a little higher than the other. But yeah, he looks beautiful, beautiful stride. It's just it's a workout for him.
Yeah, really.
A little bit of speed work.
As I said, it looked like he's out on a Sunday afternoon run just to
He doesn't make it very good
fun
for cameras because no one else is going to be on the camera.
Well, he's out there, I guess, with a little clock in his head, telling himself what he's doing, what he's trying to do. There he is over here to our right, as from our vantage point underneath the pavilion. He'll be making a big loop and then coming down for the home stretch.
It looks like Ettinger and Henry might be in the top 4. Liam Conway is 3rd.
Yeah, that's Boyertown up there.
Kirschenbaum is 5th from Methacton. That looks like 2 Boyertown runners from this distance. Yep, that's Ettinger and Henry. Well, maybe we can give you some idea of the team battle here.
Yeah, there's Lopez. There's Methacton. We don't know where the rest of the Springford gang is. See some of the coaches now running towards the finish line to cheer on their guys.
Okay, you have 2 Boyertown in the top 4.
Now we see some
You
PV
got
guys coming in.
Methacton's got 2 in the top 10. PV has 2 in the top 10. Boyertown has the 3rd man. So at this point, you would say Boyertown is winning. Now Perk Valley has a 3rd. O&J has their 2nd. Methacton has their 3rd. Boyertown has 4 and 5. This could be a big shock here.
Well, Power is starting to extend his stride here a little bit. He's getting ready to run right by us.
Yeah,
He's really picking up the pace here as he's finishing up the last bit of his race. He closes in on the finish line. Doesn't look like he's going to break the 15 minutes, though. He's going to be 16 plus. There you can see the score of the timer right there up in the upper left-hand corner as Power breaks through there and defends his title in a great race at 16 plus. Now all the fans are starting to cheer for all their gang as Coach Harvey's trying to write down some different things. We got a gang coming here. We got an O&J. We got Boyertown and O&J running down here for the finish line real hard. That's going to be a race to the finish. There's your guy Conway, the freshman that you talked about, going strong with Boyertown. And they finished neck and neck for 2nd and 3rd. Looked like Boyertown just edged him out. We got the PV guys kicking it in. We see some Pottsgrove. They're running all right by us right now. There you see Methacton, PV, and the crowd's starting to pick it up here again. Well, this is all for points. Remember, the low score wins, so you want to be as low as possible. There's PV, some more. O&J Roberts. You see the crowd lining the last 100 meters or so. You can see the total exhaustion on the faces of some of these guys. They put it all out there on the line. About 17 and a half, still under 18 minutes. The majority of the guys under 18 minutes. As when they come through, they've got to move off to the side, even though they're pretty tired. There you see Pottstown kids coming in. Some more Boyertown.
I try to record the numbers as they went through. It's going to be very close between Pottsgrove and Springfield for the team title. Boyertown's going to be a surprise, I believe.
Yeah, Boyertown finished the regular season at 4 and 5,
yeah,
so
they
didn't do so well in the team map, but individually they're running well here today.
They did very well as a team today, Boyertown. Perk Valley's going to be close. I think O&J had too much of a spread. Too many runners in between.
And there you can see the kids still busting it all the way in. Only a few left. And they will round out the 2014 Boys Pac-10 Cross Country Championships. Now as they approach the 19-minute mark, still good times for 3.1.
Yes, it is.
We want to thank the athletic director from Methacton, Paul Spreewack, who's really been a big help to Gus and all the guys here at PCTV, that's for sure. Baseball coach does a heck of a job coaching the 9 on that diamond. And that'll do it. That'll do it. We'll get the final calculations, but that'll be the race for the Pac-10 Boys Cross Country Championships down here at Hebner Park.
If you've been injured at work, if you've been injured in a car accident, if you're having problems with your neck, your low back, you're having migraine headaches, if you're suffering, you need to see us first. We can help.
As we get older, It's frustrating how ordinary household tasks become a real chore, even to the point where you worry that you might have to leave the comfort of your very own home. Worry no more. Traveling nurses are here for you, doing it all from helping around the house, monitoring medicine, even just being good company. Traveling nurses are ready to take it all on, from 2 hours a day to maybe 24 hours a day. We are there to make sure you can have your life back. Traveling nurses will do the traveling to keep you home.
You want speed? You ain't seen nothing yet. Come join me, Larry Livers, at the 422 Complex Center, where we give meaning to the word speed. We will show you how to run relaxed, smooth, and under control.
Turn not only your body, but your mind into a smooth working machine, fast enough for any sport.
So race to your phone. Give us a call.
Performance Spine and Sports Physician is the region's leading provider of spinal and musculoskeletal rehabilitation and pain management, offering 3 convenient locations, 2 physical therapy centers, 2 procedure rooms, 3 electrodiagnostic centers, and even an ultrasound suite. Working closely with your primary care doctor and other local community health providers to give you unparalleled service. Most of the procedures performed are X-ray guided, minimally invasive interventions, and typically only require local anesthetics. They are FDA approved and covered by most health insurance providers and Medicare. Patients are usually able to resume normal activities the very next day, and there is little or no discomfort involved. We are committed to delivering high quality, efficient, and comprehensive treatment in a compassionate and caring environment.
Hello, I'm Wayne Klein, President and owner of Klein Transportation, along with my wife Adele. We've been providing passenger transportation since 1957 for students going to Daniel Boone School District and charter business since 1979. Allison, our daughter, is actually the representation of the 4th generation of the Klein family.
We invite you to join us to go to many fun travel destinations. Our motto is half the fun is getting there. We are so proud of all of our staff of travel specialists. Whether you contact us by phone or online, we help you choose a Klein tour, a casino trip, or to schedule your transportation by motor coach or school bus.
Let's step on board and choose our next destination.
Well, as we are awaiting the finale of the boys' race as the final standings and all the numbers and things, we're getting ready for the second part of today's PCTV Network Sports event, which is the Girls Cross Country Championship. Again, I'm Dave Reinauer, joined by Larry Harvey, longtime track coach at Pottstown. And again, the girls are going to be a little bit more close, I would think, than the boys, as we saw Paul Power run away with it. And as you mentioned, the whole race was for second and third and so on. You see the girls starting to line up there. But Owen J. Roberts, the 2-time defending champion, have not lost a single match since 2012. Certainly something that we want to keep an eye on here this afternoon.
And they'll be challenged today by Perkins Valley. They were second behind Owen J. at 8-1. Perkins Valley lost to Owen J. Roberts in the early part of the season by 1 point. Yeah. So this is going to be quite a duel here between those two schools. I think those two will dominate the field.
Well, as you mentioned, really the top 4 teams are the ones that have an opportunity to win. The regular season counts as far as getting into the Final Four, if you will. but today it'll be all the individuals and also the team titles. As you mentioned, O&J at 9-0, PV 8-1, Springford at 7-2, and Methacton at 6-3. So we should have another interesting race here, as you can see them all lined up. At the same situation, I'm sure goes for the girls. They're allowed to compete 7 runners, and the top 5 will count in the scoring.
Correct, and Emily Shoemaker should be the race favorite as long as she's healthy and runs well. I don't think she's going to run away from the field like Paul did, but she's going to certainly be out in front. She's a state medalist from last season, and she's been undefeated this year in all her dual meets.
And she represents Boyertown. Emily Shoemaker from Boyertown. She is certainly someone that we need to keep our eye on here as the girls starting to loose up and limber up before they hear the gun. Shoemaker is a senior. She is from Boyertown, and again, she is undefeated coming into today's race. But again, there's a whole bunch of runners out there, and some freshmen from Springford, Gabriella Bamford, Julia Vetter. Some of those girls have really improved, and they're going to try to get themselves in that top 10 here this afternoon as well, Larry.
Yeah, her teammate, Jillian Cassitz, is a sophomore. She was outstanding last year as a freshman. She's been running number 2 all year behind Emily. She certainly will be up in the top 10. I think we're being challenged by a dog here who wants to get in the race.
Yeah.
There's quite a few freshmen and sophomores who will dominate this field, more so than the upperclassmen.
Well, you know, as I said, all these youngsters have been out there training, and you know, they're adding and helping out their teams and stuff more and more as we go along. I tell you, it's amazing to see these youngsters. Used to be in wrestling, used to see a couple of the lightweights out there trying to help their squads out, but you see it more and more in all the different sports. The freshmen and sophomores really contributing, being big parts. And there's the gun, and there is the gun as we start the 2014 Girls Pac-10 Cross Country Championships. And again, there's a Springford runner out in front as she tries to set the pace early. It's like Pottsgrove has a girl out there as well. There you can see the red from O&J Roberts. There's the Springford written across the chest of the runners there. There's a Boyertown girl up in front. That's Emily.
That's Emily, number 37.
Okay, that's Emily right there. With her good stride. It is sort of a soggy course too, as well, as we've talked to some of the people out there. So it's a little bit tougher running than we thought originally, because it is a flat course. 2014, Larry, that's all I can say. It's 2014. There you see the girls with their first hard turn. Again, there's Shoemaker out front. You know, and Jay with Shade and Glazier and Bernatus, Hansel, Allison Branton. Branton had some tendonitis problems earlier in the season, but hopefully she's rounding into shape here as we're in the championships, into the postseasons, going into the district meets and so on. Now they're heading back towards us. There you see some of the young Springford girls up there in the top 5 too. As we mentioned that we had some of the young freshmen there.
That's Andrea Shade from O&J running stride for stride with Emily.
No, I'll be right back.
We talked about Annie Glodick too. Glodick from PV has had a heck of a year. She's been running pretty strong. You got Daniels, you got Dickerman, you got Kelsey White as well for the orange-clad PV girls. So we'll see how they fare here this afternoon. Certainly a different race than the first one we've seen, Larry, because Paul Power had about a 50-meter lead by this point already.
Right.
Yeah, these girls, there you can see Shoemaker starting to inch out a little bit, but the O&J girls right on her shoulder, keeping her in vision, in sight.
Well, it's only a little over 400 meters into the race. O&J has 5 girls in the top 10 at this point. Perk Valley has 2, and then they have 5 others in about 15th to 20th place.
Well, you can see the
So
depth of
you're-
Owen J. Roberts,
and-
why they
and
do so
PV,
well.
yeah. So this is
PV
gonna be a
and
team
Owen J.
challenge.
There you can see the orange of PV there, and the red of Owen J. There's some more Owen J girls coming into play, and a couple of more PV girls, as you mentioned, rounding out the top 15 to 20 runners. But Shoemaker doing a good job setting the pace early on. There you can see Emily. As you mentioned, Larry, she was undefeated during the regular season. Boyertown finished 5-4 overall from the team, but Emily Shoemaker.
That's Jillian. That's her teammate Jillian Cassetts right behind her. A short girl, blonde hair.
And there's the two Owen J girls.
Two young gals from Springford.
Cassetts is a young sophomore. She's doing a heck of a job. As you mentioned, the youngsters from Springford, a couple of freshmen in there running too. Gabriella Bramford. But Owen J with that depth from top to bottom. You talked about Shade, Hansel, Glazier. Glazier's another freshman. We're going to take a quick time out here as the girls sort of run out of our view here on the PCTV Network Sports Station. So we'll be back for the finale of this race right after this.
Who has the nation's best new vehicle lineup? Ford. Who has the area's premier sales and service team right here in Pottstown? John Kennedy. And who has time to save real money? You do. With over 60 years behind the John Kennedy name, customers now save time and money at John Kennedy Ford, Pottstown, located on Ridge Pike. Take the Saratoga exit off Route 422 and visit John Kennedy Ford, Pottstown.
An orthopedic institute is more than a name. It's a unique care model based on quality and compassion. Decades devoted to research and clinical trials, the development of new surgical techniques, and physicians who outperform the field. What you get from our institute is more options and more answers. For your orthopedic care, think Rothman first.
New office and 7-day urgent care now open in Limerick.
There's our vantage point under the pavilion here at the starting/finish line. And Dave Rydner and Larry Harvey bringing you all the cross-country action here today from the Hebner Park down in Worcester, PA, right outside of Methacton School District. Beautiful day to run, as we mentioned earlier. The fall trees, the leaves look great. It's a neat day to run.
It's a great day for spectators.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
a great
Yep.
day.
Yep.
Nice crowd here today.
3.1 miles the girls are running, same as the boys. And you can see some of the girls running through the woods there. They might be some of the spectators.
That's
actually.
spectators.
Yeah, because the girls
Here
are going
they
to be coming the other way. There you go. They're the girls. We'll try to call them out for you the best we can. We did have Shoemaker, we had Shade, we had Brunton, we had Owen J, and Boyertown up there. We had some Springford girls as well. When they come into view here, right beside that little section of stands there, we'll try to pick them up for you as they come back closer to our view. But again, what a really neat little course here through the park area. A little swampy, a little wet from all the rain we've had the last 2 days, but the track is fairly fast. Here we go. There's Shoemaker out front yet. Looks like some Springford girls there. There's some PV girls as well.
We lost our Owen J girls.
Glodick, Daniels, Dickerman, Kelsey White, they're the PV girls that you expect to see in the top group. But certainly a much tighter gang than what we saw in the boys when Paul Power, distanced himself from the rest of the field. You see the stands there, the fans on the bridge, checking out all the action there, rooting on the girls. Larry, this is the point where you said that some of the coaches are positioned shouting out splits and times as they run by. Some more of the girls.
It's difficult to determine at this point what the team picture looks like.
Here they come into our view. You'll see them right underneath that tree branch any second. There they are. There's a gang of them. There's 5 of them. They're still stayed in that first pack with the 6th one fairly close behind. But again, we have Boyertown out front. We got a couple of Springford girls, and we have 2 PV girls in the top 5. So 2 Springford, 2 PV, and Boyertown out in front.
The 2 O&J girls have dropped off the pace. We're out there in the lead. So there's your top 5.
Who are all vying for that individual
even
title.
Jillian Cassett is not with Emily. Generally, she runs with her.
Cassich was the sophomore that we talked. There's Cassich. There's another PV.
That's O&J Roberts.
Yep, there's 2 O&Js. So we have some girls up there trying to catch up. Here we have some more girls coming. I think.
O&J,
yeah, that's O&J there. Yeah. Man, O&J, I tell you, they have some depth. These girls are pretty solid from top to bottom. You can see why they have not lost a regular season match since 2012, and ironically, PV was the last team to beat them.
That camera will just stay there. We can tell you what's happening. We can tell you who's winning.
All right, we got Boyertown. We have 2 PVs.
O&J.
We got a couple of O&Js there. As the girls continue to run. Again, they're running very smoothly as well.
If our cameras continues at this point, we'll be okay.
There they make that hard right turn. Yep, they're not as
Emily's starting to pull away. Somebody's giving her a good challenge. Looks like the girl from Perk Valley.
Yeah, is that Perk Valley? Okay.
I can't see.
Looks like it's either PV or Springford.
Yeah.
I can't tell what uniform that is, but there's 2 girls that are starting to distance themselves from everybody else as they run across the fields here. Now they take that hard turn this way, coming back at us.
Can he hold still?
A little windy up there in that truck.
Yeah. Looks like a PV uniform, isn't it?
I think that's Springford, to be honest with you, but I'm not sure.
That's PV. That's an orange top.
Yeah, that looks like it could be Glodick.
Glodick.
Yeah, Glodick's out there. She's had a good year as well. She and Emily Shoemaker. We're going to take a quick time out. We're going to come back for the finish right after this.
I want a professional heating company with heating and cooling service plans.
A company that considers my needs.
I want the security of price protection plans.
Along with 24-hour emergency service and heating oil delivery.
I want comfort.
I want Ollard Brothers.
Ollard Brothers, still family and still local. Ask about our America-friendly and environment-friendly agri-fuels, bioheat, and biodiesel.
When it comes to heating
and the environment,
there's only one choice.
Thanks, Ollard Brothers.
We're back here at Hebner Park, Worcester, PA, for the girls Pac-10 cross country final. Dave Ridenauer, Larry Harvey bringing you all the action here on the PCTV Network Sports. And we're getting ready for the final few minutes of this race as these girls were neck and neck. They had about 5 or 6 of them all grouped together in the front of the pack, and then it looked like Glodick and Shoemaker sort of, yeah, they broke away from the pack, and they'll be coming into our view here shortly. But this should be an interesting matchup, particularly for the last, 500-600 meters. Again, O&J came in undefeated, 9-0, PV 8-1, and Springford 7-2, and the girls are starting to round up into our viewing area here, into our cameras.
Our last camera view is probably like the last half mile of the race.
Remember, they run 3.1, same as the boys. We saw the boys earlier with Paul Power from Springford, easily defending his individual championship. And we're going to take another quick timeout as we wait for the girls to round up to the end. We'll be right back.
Allergies? Carpet One Floor and Home just made carpet installation healthier. Our new Healthier Living installation minimizes dust, mold, and allergens. Better than home centers, it's antimicrobial, hypoallergenic, simply cleaner. Breathe easier. You'll love it. A healthier installation exclusively at Carpet One Floor and Home. Beautiful. Made affordable.
Back here on a beautiful fall day for the girls cross country Pac-10 championship. Dave Rodner, Larry Harvey, anxiously awaiting for the girls to finish up the last about half mile of the race. They should be coming along momentarily. The last time we saw the girls, we had Shoemaker from Boyertown. We had Annie Glodick from PV. They were starting to break away from the pack. We had a group of about 5 or 6 girls.
Gabriella Bamford from Springford was up there. And, it might have been Bella Marcini, a couple freshmen.
Fans are starting to line up around the track as they're starting to come into our view, as they will be there for the finale of the race, the last half mile or so. We're trying to get the school colors for you as well as we see who finishes up.
As we explained earlier, this is the first attempt by PCTV to broadcast a cross-country race. It's a little difficult to do with the technology. I think they can only go so far with cable lines and so on to cover the race.
Well, here we have a couple of girls coming into view here, Harv. There's the first 2 girls, as we mentioned, about the last half mile of the race.
But that is not Shoemaker. That's the girl from PV. This could be a major upset.
That's Annie Glodick there, the young sophomore.
Is that who it is, Annie?
Yep.
Amy? Who is it? Annie?
That's
Annie
Glodick. Yep.
Yeah. This could be an upset.
That's Shoemaker behind her.
Yep. It's Annie Glodick, and she's got about 3 seconds on Shoemaker of Boyertown.
Yep. I'm not sure if Shoemaker's going to have enough to pull this out. It looks like old Annie's doing well. The young sophomore running very smooth here at the tail end of this race. As you mentioned, there's about a 20-meter lead for Glodick coming into the end of the race. You see some of the younger PV girls were cheering over our shoulder, trying to watch the monitor there to see what's going on.
Well, Perk Valley also has 3rd place, too. That doesn't look...
There you see Annie holding on there, working those arms, as you mentioned, Harv. It's all about the arms now. You see the coaches there telling her to move those arms.
Yep, it's all in the arms. Third and fourth are starting to reel in Shoemaker. They're coming after her. Glodick's pulling away.
And that's PV and Springford up there.
Boyertown in 6th. O&J is in 7th.
This could be a very exciting finish as the girls are making that home stretch there. They're going to go up there and make a hard left turn, and then they'll be coming right back at us here for the final home stretch as as Gloddick takes a peek over her shoulder there to see where the next girl is. Trying to find out how much room she has. She has one more turn to make as she comes right at us there. There we go. There you can see number 104, I believe it says, coming right at us. Yeah, it's 194.
Yeah,
Young
Gloddick,
sophomore, she's running.
Gloddick's going to pull the upset.
Yeah, she is. She's pulling away. Yep. Emily Shoemaker, I don't think is going to have enough to catch her.
Shoemaker's going to get caught by the other Perkins Valley girl.
Gloddick taking a peek over her shoulder there. She can view the finish line. Now the crowd's starting to get fired up. Shoemaker trying to hold on. She wants that runner-up position, but here comes PV. PV with a good sprint here at the end. What a run here by PV. She's going to catch her. It's going to be 1 and 2 for PV.
Yes.
There's 1 for PV. There comes 2 PV. Boyertown Shoemaker are going to finish third. Here comes some Springford girls now.
They're 4th and 5th.
Yeah, the young Springford girls. Here comes another Boyertown.
O&J is 7, 8, and 9.
There's O&J Roberts showing their depth.
7, 8, 9, and 10. And
Yeah,
11.
and 11.
They won it. They won it.
O&J is going to come on strong here at the end. That's that depth. That's the depth that O&J has. And here comes another PV girl. She's going to finish in the top 15, but what a good showing for PV. The crowd's starting to get fired up here at the finish line. Here comes another O&J girl. O&J showing that depth, Larry. They're really doing a good, solid job.
Yes, they did. That depth might help them win it because
there's Methacton, here's PV.
They have to overcome a 1-2 punch.
Yeah. Another Boyertown girl running. What a race. There's a couple of PV girls coming. More Springford.
Another Perk Valley girl.
Yep. O&J Roberts. Springford.
There's Perk Valley's depth. That's her 6th and 7th.
Yeah. There's a Pope John Paul girl running right by our vantage point here. Springford. But again, you can see these girls, I tell you, they laid it all out on the line. Hey, we're going to be right back with the finish of this right after this.
Just down the street, there's a hardware store with great tools, products,
and expert advice.
We've got everything you need because we know the community
and we know our customers.
So next time you have a home improvement project,
drop by
your local True Value hardware store. True Value.
Start right.
Start here.
Your True Value expert is A.D. Moyer in Gilbertsville and Pottstown. On the web at admoyer.com.
Boardwalk Pizza, located right next to the Norco Fire Company on Route 724. Family owned and operated. We don't just make pizza, we create pizza. Did you know we deliver and specialize in large catering events, especially those end-of-the-season team parties? Stop by for the original South Philly cheesesteak, the best hot wings around, and much, much more. Boardwalk Pizza. It's old school pizza the right way. Check us out on Facebook or give us a call at 610-323-3240.
Yakalak Construction, serving the Tri-County area since 1946. Family owned, free estimates, all types of concrete work, sidewalks, foundations, steps, curbs, and more professional service and quality. Give them a call, 610-323-8134.
Is pain or injury preventing you from doing what you love? Let ATI Physical Therapy, the largest provider of sports medicine services in the country, get you back in the action. The energetic and motivating team at ATI provides individualized treatment plans designed to reduce pain, improve mobility, and prevent future injuries. But it isn't just about the treatment. It's about the whole experience. From the first greeting to the final celebratory high five, ATI's friendly team is determined to make every visit the highlight of your day. So what are you waiting for? Come on in to our clinic in Royersford for a complimentary injury assessment, or ask your doc to send you to ATI Physical Therapy and get back in the game of life. Open now since 2011, Royersford Veterinary Hospital is a full-service small animal hospital treating dogs, cats, and small mammals. Dr. Namola has 16 years of experience in the veterinary field. Royersford Veterinary Hospital offers preventive care examinations, vaccinations, and parasite prevention for patients through all life stages, from pediatric care to geriatric screening. The hospital has a fully equipped laboratory, radiology, sterile surgery, and dental equipment for all your pet's medical and surgical needs. For the feline patients, the hospital offers a feline-friendly atmosphere and a feline-exclusive boarding suite. Dr. Namola and her knowledgeable caring staff can answer all your questions about proper health care. Stop on by the hospital anytime to meet the staff or tour the facility. Royersford Veterinary Hospital wants to be your other family doctor.
Hey, we're back here at the finale of the cross-country championships, boys and girls. We had a great time down here doing it for the first time. Larry Harvey and I had a lot of fun, and saw some good running there. You know, obviously, Mr. Power from Springford was very dominant on the boys' side, and Annie Glodick with a little bit of a mild upset as she knocked off Emily Shoemaker there for the individual title as a young sophomore for PV. The team standings will be done and compiled shortly, but what a nice day for running.
Beautiful day. Some outstanding events. Bordertown boys, I think, did very well, which was a surprise. And, of course, the Perkiomen Valley girls taking a 1-2.
Well, it was a nice day down here at the Hebner Park in Worcester, PA. For Larry Harvey, I'm Dave Ridenour, and for all the guys at the PCTV Network Sports, thanks for watching, and join in for some more sports as we finish up soccer and everything else here in the Pac-10.